Hey everybody, it's Miss Fisher Bellman in the library, and today I want to talk to you about summer assignments. Our summer assignments are accessible in lots of different locations, and by our summer assignments, I mean assignments for the entire Walnut Hills community. So how are some ways that you can find it? So first and foremost, if it's still during the school year, you still have access to Schoology. They are posted under assignments on the library Schoology page. You get to the library Schoology page through courses. There is this image here that you're looking for the library in your drop-down menu. If you don't see it in the drop-down menu, you can go over to My Courses. That will produce an alphabetical listing of courses, and we are the WHHS library. So you click section 1, and there you are. But again, if it's not the school year, you can't always access Schoology. So there are other ways to access the website as well, or the assignments, I should say. And one of those ways is the library website. I've linked directly to this page in the description below, so you can find this. And then, of course, the summer assignments are there. After the school year, the assignments will also be available in this opening scroll as well. Okay, so lots of different ways to find the assignment. So let's look at the assignments themselves for next year. Okay, if you click on the summer assignment description, you will see that they are organized by subject. So they're alphabetical subjects, so classics, English, fine arts, etc. Okay. Since we're building this as we go, not everybody has had time to update their assignments yet. So you'll see some that are listed in green as being already updated, and some that haven't yet been updated for this year. So if you're looking at this again before the end of the school year, make sure you're looking at the things that are in green, because the things in red might not actually pertain to you. As of the recording of this video, there's only 2 updated at this time. Okay, so the English assignment is updated, and one of the social studies assignments, which is AP European history. But eventually, again, they all will be. So let's focus on English here. That's the point of this video. So when you click on this particular assignment, it is going to redirect you to an entire site that is for every English class. Okay, so all classes grades 7 to 12, AP or otherwise. All right. So the assignment is to simply read a book. Let's look. If you want further clarification, you can go to the directions page. Okay, so the rationale is up here, and it's that we want you to continue to be readers. That continues to open doors. It impacts your testing scores. It impacts your empathy. It's just always great to be a reader. Of course, the librarian might be a little bit biased in that regard, but this is our goal, right? Okay, so you need to read 1 book this summer before school starts. It does not have to be from this website. Okay, this is a change. All right, so the website is full of suggestions and can kind of get you thinking about what you might want to read, but it's not required that the book be from this website. Okay, however, what you do need to know is that at the beginning of next year, your teacher is likely going to use that book in some way. Okay, every teacher is going to deal with it differently. So being able to access the book at the beginning of the year is also going to be helpful. I'll give you some options for accessing the book in just a little bit. So let's talk about some of the options. In our genres categories, where you're going to see all the different suggestions. I shouldn't use the word options, suggestions. Okay, if you're really into super current books, you're going to want to look at our recent award winners. Each award is different. It's the award process is looking for very specific things. If you're not familiar with the awards, if you simply click on where it says recent awards, that will take you to descriptions of each of the awards. Okay, so for instance, Alex Awards are books that were intended for adult audiences that have a particular appeal to teenagers. Coretta Scott King Book Awards, those are awards that go from little kid books to young adult books. In our site, we're of course sticking to young adult and middle grade books, but these are for African American authors and illustrators that are creating outstanding literature. Edgar Awards are mysteries. The Prince Award is for young adult books, so on and so forth. You can read all of the descriptions here. The Harveys, those are graphic novels. The Teens Top 10 is interesting because these are always books that are voted on via YALSA, which is a branch of the American Library Association, but teens vote for these. So all of the others are, kind of decided by adults, but the Teens Top 10 is decided by young people. All right, so if you click on the awards themselves, they'll take you to the page where you can see the most recent winners. It'll start with the 2022 awards, if that award has been granted this year, and then it'll go down into the 2021 awards. I want to pay special attention to a few different things here. First, there are descriptions of the books written below. These are taken directly from Amazon. We also link you directly to the book on Amazon if you want to purchase it as well. Underneath, you'll see some stars. Okay, there's all different stars. If you look on the home page kind of gives you a key for what the stars are. Bronze Star books are published or cataloged as middle grade or young adult reads, and they are under 300 pages. Silver Star books are also published or cataloged as middle grade or young adult reads, but they're over 300 pages. So both bronze and silver, the intended audience for the books are middle grade or young adults. Gold Star books are either adult reads or they're over 400 pages. Okay, you can kind of get a feel for that once you click on the image of the book and look at the specifics on Amazon. Okay, so again, the recent award winners, these are going to be books that are within the last maximum 3 years. Okay, so most recent published books. That's going to be our newest books on the site. After that, we go into basically genres. Okay, so we start with social justice. And the reason that social justice is labeled is because it's one of our most highly trafficked topics within the library. So we have a separate page for it because these tend to be books that students are really, really interested in. After that, they go into more traditional genres like realistic fiction, nonfiction. Some of us love nonfiction. I've grown to become a nonfiction reader myself. I never used to be. But there's nonfiction, there's poetry. For those of you who like poetry, it starts with a row of, this one's a memoir in verse. These are novels in verse here. And then it goes into more traditional poetry collections. If you love theater, there's a drama section. You can read from a selection of plays that are here. It goes fantasy, sci-fi. If you know you love classics, you're not interested in those books that are most recently published, you want to stick to the classics, there's a whole section here of classics. If you know that you love mystery or horror reads, those are available here. And then also graphic novels. We have a lot of people that are very interested in graphic novels, and there's a whole section of graphic novels here. Actually, one of our awards is also for graphic novels, if that interests you. I think I said that already, though. Okay, so there's lots of options that you can access here. All right, we link you to Amazon, but you are not required to purchase from Amazon or Joseph Beth, because we also are doing a book fair from Joseph Beth. We also link you to Sora. Okay, I want you to know that all of these books you can access via Sora if no one else has them checked out. So how do we get to Sora? One way you can get to Sora, and I'll also put this in the description below, is via our catalog, Destiny Discover. Okay, this will be, all of this will be linked below. You can access Sora here or even on our Schoology page here. Okay, so when you go into Sora, the very first thing it's going to ask you to do is pick your school. All right, and you can choose Walnut Hills High School, of course. And this will deposit you, once you verify your email address, into our digital collection. Okay, so this is the collection that we have. And you'll see that some of them are very much little kid books, but this is because it's belonging to multiple libraries, not just high school libraries. So you can search your title here and see if it is available. So one of them that we had there was Legend Born. All right, and you can see, oh, this one's not available. It says place hold. Now there's one other great option though that we can do. If you go over to this hamburger menu, All right. You can see I'm in our library. It's called the Hamilton Claremont Cooperative. You can add a library if you haven't done this already. I know a bunch of people did this in their English classes. If you start to type in Cincinnati, you'll see the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library pops up. You click, this is my library. Okay, and now you can see I'm searching the public library collection. Now, one of the greatest things that came out of the pandemic was the public library collaborated with CPS to get books in the hands of kids, digital books. And the library said, as long as students have the correct email address, that can be their library card. You don't have to worry about fines because it just evaporates when its time's up. You can renew it if you need to, but you can access these public library books. Now, remember, I just went in, I clicked Add Library down here, okay, and now I'm in the page. The one thing you have to do before you're allowed to truly borrow is to try to borrow, okay? So if I try to borrow, I'm going to try to borrow this book. Now it's going to say sign into your library. On this screen, when you're adding the public library, this time you're going to pick Cincinnati Public Schools, not Walnut Hills High School, okay? I'm going to sign in using Cincinnati Public Schools. Again, I'm going to click the right email address, and now it'll let me borrow, okay? So now I've borrowed the book, all right? If I borrow a book on accident and I don't really want it, I can always go to my shelf, go to options, and return. Okay, if that's something you're interested in. But this is a way to digitally borrow books so you don't have to spend money on this assignment. You can read via your computer. It's also an app that you can have on your phone and just always have it with you. All of that is totally accessible to you. So importantly, once you have added the public library, you can now do that same search again for, in this case, Legend Born. You can see now I just don't see one, but I see more. Now, I have a lot of 3 different options here. I have 2 of standard ebook. One is an audiobook. You can see they are all currently checked out, but by having more options, I've kind of shrunk down the time. So have a look. If you click the little clock, it'll tell you the audiobook, you have to wait 4 weeks for it because there are 6 copies in use and 11 people waiting. The other ebook, you only have 1 to use. There's 9 in use, 2 people waiting. And then this one will tell you that you have 2 weeks. So by opening up the public library, you've shrunk your wait time. And in some cases, you'll find that our book might be checked out, but it's not checked out at the library. It just happens that this is a pretty popular read. And so they're all checked out. But once I place hold, I put myself in line and it'll be available to me soon. I'm just going to want to come back to Sora and check its availability. You'll see little messages kind of pop up when it is ready for you. Okay. So if you have questions, you can always send a message to someone in the library, or on that front page, you can see you're also on the English assignment. If your question's particular to the English assignment, you'll also see that the department chairs for next year, their contact information is also there so that you can message them directly. If you have any questions, be sure to let us know. Happy reading, y'all.